Good day, everyone. I'm thankful for you guys taking your valuable time out of your day to learn more about HR Probot. HR Probot is our artificial intelligence innovation. It's innovation that's powered by HR Professional Consulting, our company. And as we launch HR Probot today, we like to believe that the future of intelligence is here. Before we get into HR Probot, allow me to briefly introduce our company, HR Professional Consulting, or as you may know us as HR Pros. HR Pros is a full human resources firm assisting all size businesses. We assist in talent acquisition, human resources consulting, human capital management, and HR innovations and technologies. And allow me to introduce your host, me, William Ankar. I also have an assistant here. His name is Robotic. I assure you Robotic is very smart. He's mostly smart in the mouth. But pay attention to his messages. I'm sure you'll find them entertaining. So, little on me, I am the president of HR Pros. I am the innovator of HR Probot. And my inspiration for HR Probot really stems from many years of experience in human capital management, but it also comes from my commitment to equity and fairness in the workplace. Well, in my 20 years experience in human capital management, there's one thing I learned for sure, and that is we live in an increasingly fast-changing world. Today, the baby boomers are on a mass exodus. They only make up 6% of the workplace. And what they're taking with them are hundreds of years of work ethic and workplace traditions. Conversely, Gen Z is moving in by the thousands. This is leaving companies like yours no option but to adapt because they're bringing in demands and requirements that did not exist previously in the workplace. So regardless of what industry you're in, do you really have to prepare for change? I feel the answer is yes. But the question is, what change should you prepare for? Well, let's take a look. You may be used to rules-driven policies, hierarchical acceptance, prioritize work over leisure. You're surely used to face-to-face communication, uniform appearances, cultural assimilations, and even company rights. But as a leader today, you should be prepared to be more lenient and more flexible to change into these new processes, which would be process-driven policies, increased collaboration, have a better work-life balance. Surely remote communication had affected your business by now. You must be prepared for technological solutions. One of the tough one to swallow is the individuality, but also driving down on corporate responsibility. While it may not seem that these are very important and critical to your business today, I assure you they are. Now, it may seem like it's all bad news, but let's move on to the good news. The good news is we've got your back. Allow me to introduce the star of the show, HR Probot. HR Probot, regardless of the change you guys face, is an innovation that's helpful and inexpensive. It's going to assist your leaders with making more effective and cost-saving decisions for your organization. This is done by increasing the engagement of your internal and your third-party workers on your job site. HR Probot is an AI-driven platform. It opens critical lines of communication between leaders and the workers. Communication that will increase your company's data collection to be later analyzed and used to make measurable and insightful decisions. Let's look at some stats. A work-human study recently came out, and the study was pretty eye-opening. What it says is 35% of all workers in the workforce feels disengaged at work. We see disengagement similar to being distracted. And what can distractions bring to your job site? Increased risk. Risk of production flaws or waste. Workplace conflicts. That'll increase your legal exposures. Or even job site accidents, which will increase injury exposures, workman's comp, and many other unnecessary costs. So if you're not seeing the benefit in using HR Bot yet, you soon will. Now let's look at some of the functionality behind HR ProBot. HR ProBot is modeled after a simple concept, an information collection plan, or an ICP. ICP is rare in business policies, and it's probably foreign to you and your business. This is because it's commonly used with governments and military that operate on foreign soil. It's a protective method. However, with the increase in generational shifts and globalization, your job site is now experiencing some of the same risks that governments are facing overseas. And it's critical now for companies to start adopting ICPs within their policies. The ICP we modeled have 4 components: the collection, the analytics, the dissemination, and planning phases. I can assure you, HR ProBot will assist you with your collection. But first, let's review some of the collection barriers that exist that's likely happening in your processes. You're likely lacking reporting procedures. There's probably fear of retaliation on site, which is common amongst all companies. More than likely, misinformation, disinformation, and peer pressure is affecting your workforce communication. Cultural differences, language barriers are definitely contributing factors, especially with the globalization. But social anxiety and lack of agency is a newer reporting, especially amongst the newer generation. But once HR ProBot assists you with this, here's some of the information that you actually will collect. You get policy inquiries and payroll inquiries. This increases the knowledge that your employees have about your company and sometimes translate into company loyalty. You get more information on internal conflicts and external conflicts. Detailed information about accidents, safety hazards, and near misses. But also just an increase in complaints, feedbacks, and biases really can assist your management in making the right decisions moving forward. Do you have a robust analytics team? It's okay if you don't. Most companies cannot afford the extra staff, but we must all agree that the savings gained from data analytics can be significant. HR ProBot is a simple and inexpensive way to implement business intelligence into your company without all the traditional workload. You see, after HR ProBot collects your intelligence, it immediately and without instruction begins to process that information. HR ProBot begins to store the data into proper cloud storages. These storages can be general inquiries, policy information, payroll, HR, or grievances. By properly storing your data, HR ProBot can continuously search the intelligence for issues to escalate or to offer recommendations for improvement. Next, HR ProBot will prioritize the information. In doing this, gives your manager help in knowing how to quickly and how aggressively to approach any given situation. The information leveling happens in 4 stages. You have level 1, which represents little to no risk to the company. And it goes up to level 4, which represents a very high risk of violence, litigation, investigation, or injury within the company. You'll see more about this in a live demo. The next function is dissemination. HR Probot intelligence dissemination is based on a ticketed and a reporting process. Once the incident rises above a level 2, it automatically generates a ticket. These tickets are sent to managers to inform them of the situation, and it also gives them instructions on how to close out those specific issues. But based on the leveling system, as we spoke before, once the information rises to a level 4, HR Probot will then send a detailed report about the incident that can bypass any lower managers that's handling tickets and automatically report to senior leadership for the issue to be immediately addressed. You will also see an example of this in a live demo. And lastly, we have planning. The rule of thumb about planning with HR Probot is your leaders will have more intelligence, insights, timing, and direction before any critical planning or decision will be made. Well, this is a good looking slide. Robotics seems to disagree, but this slide is a good illustration of the metrics that you could use to measure the successes of your HR Probot and to offer justification for maintaining a great partnership with our HR professionals. Ask yourself, which metrics are best for you to justify any business decision? We can help you make that decision. Well, by now you must be wondering, what does HR Probot cost? The simple answer is, it's free. We say this because HR Probot will not only save you money by decreasing the cost of incidents on site, but HR Probot will also make you money by allowing you to continuously improve. However, we are aware that your business case has to include real numbers. Therefore, we gratefully request that your company provides us with the critical information that we need to give you the best offer available. And now we're finished with the boring part of this presentation. Now let's actually look and see how HR Probot actually works.